Okay, let's take a look at the rest of the translation work here, going from Hebrew into English. Any specific ones you want to work through together? Yeah, so you're talking about the Dagesh Lene going away, or? The conjunction and? Yeah, why did it go to Shurik? Because normally it would be V, right? So why does it go to Shurik? It's a bump letter. Remember your bump letters? Bet, mem, pe can cause the preceding V to become U, right? Bilabials, two lip consonants. B, m, p, right? U. So uvina, yeah, right. Not vina, but uvina. Yep. So what does Ain mean? There is not. So what's Ain Elohim? There is no God. What is Ain Melech? There is no king. And then each of these are modified by like prepositional phrases, right? So there's no God like Adonai. There's no king like God, right? Here, what does yesh mean? There is. And the lamed here is possessive. There is two zakein. Is that a or the zakein? The. You see how the article hey has left its pathak and doubling dot behind, right? The lamed has swallowed it. So there is to the elder hokmah. What's a better way in English to translate this? Well, just that first part. There is to the elder wisdom. The elder has wisdom. That's right. Number 4 and number 8. Let me have you repeat after me. Ready? Gedolah, Eretz Yisrael. Yesh lah, Arim Rabot. All right, good. So look at Gedolah. Is that a noun or an adjective? That is an adjective, isn't it? Notice that it's not following a noun. So what is just take a wild guess. What sort of use might this be? Probably a predicate use, which means I want to add is or are to my sentence, or was or were. Gedolah Eretz Yisrael. Something is big or great. What is it? Eretz Yisrael means the land of Israel. Now, how are these two nouns related to each other grammatically, do you think? Yeah, this looks like a construct chain. Construct chains consist of two nouns, right? Eretz is a noun, Yisrael is a noun, and I'm going to hold them together as a unit. Something is great, and Eretz Yisrael is that one thing, that something, right? So the land of Israel is great. Yesh lah. What is that? There is to her, okay? And then Arim Rabot. Now notice we just had Rabot a little while ago, or Rabim. That's an adjective, and this is a noun, but notice the adjective is after the noun. What use might this be? It might be attributive. It certainly follows. It agrees in gender and number. Does it agree in definiteness as well? It does. It does. So we want to take this as a predicate, an attributive adjective. Many arim. What's that? Many cities. Many cities. Now, I know arim looks masculine plural here, but this is from what lexical form? Ear. And we learned that ear is a feminine singular noun. Okay? So that's why rabot is feminine plural when that's arim. So there are in it or her. Now remember, this is what person, gender, number, that la pronoun. That's 3FS. In Hebrew, we don't have neuter gender. So things that are its in our language are hims and hers in Hebrew. They have to have one or other of the gender. masculine or feminine. So what does the feminine singular pronoun refer to? Refers to Eretz Yisrael, right? Eretz is feminine. So I'm going to want to translate this not as in her, but in it, but the it is the land of Israel. Okay? So there are in it many cities. That's one way to translate it. I could also say it has many cities. What's that? Oh, okay. Great. So any questions about that? Did that? Well, I guess there are some contexts in which, you see Zion and Israel and Jerusalem referred to in feminine terms as daughters and women and that sort of thing. So yeah, not completely out of the question to do it, but I think as a normal thing, we would usually translate pronouns referring to nations and cities as we would translate them as its, right? I mean, today after the World Series, if we were referring to Houston as a sad city, I think I would say it's a sad city, not he's a sad city. Right? Other questions? Oh, number 8. That was another one, right? So, by the way, have we cleaned up your red ink there? Is everything clearer? Yeah, thank you. Okay, good. Now with 8, let's read that one together, everybody. Repeat after me. Ein Yeshua La'am. Asher halach baderech harasha. Okay, so here the assertion is Ein Yeshua. What's that? There is not deliverance or salvation. La'am. Okay, is this to a people or the people? You got to look at that vowel pointing here. Yeah, it's definite, isn't it? Yeah, that's definite noun because the article has been swallowed up here. Make that just a little bit bigger. If it were indefinite, that would be a vocal shiva, right? La'am. So, if this is a possessive idea, then we could translate this as the people have no deliverance, or we could make it more of an existential thing. There is no deliverance for the people. All right? I would take either of those. For what kind of people? Notice I have an asher clause here. And what do you think it's modifying based on what we learned about where relative clauses usually go? Yeah, the people, right? The people. So the head that's being modified by the relative clause is am. What about the people that have no salvation? Well, the people, asher halach. What's halach mean? Yeah, he walked. Baderech. Yeah, in the way or in the path. Harasha. Yeah, the evil or wicked. Derek is a noun. Is harasha a noun or an adjective? Yeah, that's an adjective. Is it after the noun? Does it agree in all the ways that an attributive adjective might agree with a noun? It does, right? So this is an attributive adjective, and then we would call this the wicked way. Now, are you sure that Derek is definite here? Because we have ha over here, but I don't see a ha over here on ba Derek. That's right. The bet has eaten the hay sandwich, but left the hay's article, the article hay's pathak and doubling dot, right? So yes, so these are both definite. So this is an attributive adjective. So the evil way. Now, how am I going to translate the relative clause with this? Now, in English, it's going to sound really funny to say the people who he walked or it walked in the evil way. So in English, we want to say the people who walked, right? But there is an implied he that is embedded in the 3ms personal ending of halak, right? And that 3ms personal ending is referring to what? To the head la'am. I should say he or it. Any questions about that?
Yeah, Marshall, I translated this, there is no salvation for the people who walk in the evil way. Is that incorrect, or is that a legitimate possibility?
So you basically made the verb present tense?
No.
Okay, so that was past.
I just got the order of the two clauses different than what the answer key said. The answer key says the people which walked in the evil way had no deliverance.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay, got you. I couldn't remember what I had on my answer key. Yeah, because I'm translating this as a possessive in my answer key. If I didn't have the asher clause, if all I had was ein Yeshua la'am, then I could either translate this as the people have no salvation, or I could say there is no salvation for the people. Okay? And then once I add the asher clause, I can stick it right behind people. So either of these positions are okay. So I think you said you chose that option, right? And that's perfectly okay to me. Mm-hmm. All right, good. What else?
Dr. Marshall,
Yes.
question on number 6, really just about one word on volume. Is that ethnic, the disjunctive marker moving accent causing the thought to lengthen? Is that what happens to that
Mm-hmm.
word?
Yes. So this was a pathak, and athnaks and saluks are very strong disjunctive accents that can cause pausal lengthening. So yeah, that's why you see the kamets appearing here with that athnak. Absolutely. Very good. While we're on 6, let's go ahead and just translate it. So yesh lanu lechem v'mayim means what? That's right. We have bread and water. V'yesh lahem ra'av gadol. What's yesh mean? There is, there are. Hey, is that the word bread, lahem? Ah, that's tricky, isn't it? We have lechem, bread, but this is not bread here. What's lahem? Yeah, that's to them. This is the 3MP pronoun with the lamed preposition here. Okay? So there is to them means they have. Okay, and so this is contrastive with we have, right? We have this, but they have what? Ra'av gadol. Yeah, they have a great famine. Okay? We have great bread and water. Yeah, that sounds wonderful. But it's better than this. Great famine. You don't have anything. Any other questions come to your mind here?
Marshall, and then question on the word order for number 5.
Yeah.
In wrote down, he does not have righteousness because he destroys the laws of Yahweh.
Okay. Yeah, so
Probably a lot better translation based on some of the other translation work that we're doing there, but is the order wrong?
well, let's take a look at the beginning. One of the things that I think you did here was you read the bow in the same way that you would normally have read or expected a lo, right? So ein tzedek lo means he has no righteousness. But this is the bet preposition, which is giving us some sort of a spatial or at least a metaphorically spatial sense. There is no righteousness in him or it. We don't know whether that's a him or it until we get further in the clause and we have the key clause. Okay, so does that make sense first of all? The lamed is possessive, but not the beit. So there is no righteousness in him because, and then what did you say for the end here? He
Breaks the laws of Yahweh.
Okay, so you put the laws of Yahweh, and I put Yahweh's laws, right? And those are both fine. So because he broke either the laws of Yahweh or Yahweh's laws. All right. Anybody have any questions about 5? Any additional ones? Torot Adonai is a construct chain. That's why we want to treat Torot as definite. So if we do the blank of blank translation for the construct chain, we want to say the Torot of Yahweh, because Yahweh is definite by virtue of being a proper noun. Yeah, let's look at number 10. We'll go ahead and read that together. Okay, number 10. Everybody, repeat after me. Zachar Melech Yehuda et Beit Adonai ki yesh bo zahav v'kasef. All right. So Zahar is a verb. We've gone through this verb over and over again on our practice sheet. You know what it means, don't you? To what? Oh, do you remember? Good. So, who remembered? What's the subject? The king of Judah. Now look, I have Melech Yehuda. Are these both nouns? Are they both slapped up side by side next to each other? Good candidate for a construct chain. Maybe thing 1 is the construct. If so, it's got an accent on the first syllable. Is that kosher for a construct noun? Usually not. But what kind of a noun is Melech? Segolets. And segolets are so committed to first syllable stress that even in the construct singular, they keep that accent there. Okay, they're the only ones that do it. So yeah, this certainly could be a construct chain. If I didn't think it was, I'd have a problem because I would have to take king as indefinite. A king remembered, and then I'd have to figure out what to do with Judah. Maybe Judah's the object, but if it is, then I've got a problem because I've got an et marking another direct object, right? So it's better to take this as a construct chain, and together they make up the subject. So the king of Judah remembered. What did he remember? Et Beit Adonai. What's that? The house of Yahweh. Now notice that et, then you're not taking that as the preposition that means with, are you? You're taking this as the definite direct object marker. But look, Beit is not definite, is it? Okay. So in order for that to be definite, this has to be what? Has to be a construct chain where thing 2 is definite and makes thing 1 definite, is it? Yes, that's right. Yahweh is definite. Okay, good. So that does make sense of the direct object marker then. So the king of Judah remembered the house of Yahweh. Ki, because yesh bo, there was in it. Now we're going with was because contextually we're using a perfect in the past over here, right? So there was in it zahav v'kasef, gold and silver. Gold and silver. All right? That sound good? Gold and silver always sounds good, doesn't it? Any questions on 10 to follow up? All right. Anything else here on the translation work? You guys are the paying customers. Of course, I have lots of questions I can ask you, but what do you want to ask? So let's look at number 9, and let's read it. Ready? Nathan lanu, Elohim baracha, ki lo shavarnu, et hatorah. Okay, good. So what does Nathan lanu mean? Yeah, he gave to us. Now, is the he what I want to use for my subject, or do I possibly have an explicit, overt subject noun somewhere in the sentence here? Elohim is over here, right? That might be the subject. If it is, would it match the 3ms form of Nathan? It would, if Elohim is referring to the one God of Israel, right? So God gave lanu. Which pronoun is the new on lanu? That's us. Which person, gender, number is that? 1 CP. That's right. So God gave to us, or God gave us, baracha. A blessing. Yes. This is a direct object. Why is there no direct object marker here? Because it's not definite. And I use 8 with definite direct objects. So this is still a direct object. It's just not definite. All right. So God gave us a blessing. Ki, because. Why? Lo shavarnu. Which personal ending is shavarnu? Yeah. Cal perfect 1 CP, right? So we shavard not means we what? Did not break. Et hatorah. The law or the Torah. And notice that I have a direct object marker here, right? Or is that the preposition that means with? Now in form it could be that, but in the context, not very likely, right? Why is that? It wouldn't make sense because of the nature of the verb shavar. Shavar, to break, requires what? A direct object. If I take the et as with, then it's not marking the direct object. Then I would say they did not break with the Torah. And that with means they, along with the Torah, didn't break. And you're missing the object, and it doesn't make sense. Okay? So when we have situations like that, that helps us. We have grammatical context to know that this can't be the the preposition with. It's the direct object marker. Okay? Because the verb is transitive. It requires a direct object. All right. Does that help there with number 9? Okay, good. It's a lot easier when you get to do it with your friends in class and your professors watching over you, right? You can take me home for $1,000 a day. I'll help you. Any other questions?
Yeah, number, Dr. Marshall, number 3, the last word, hallelujah, got that note, like the demonstrative, and that's of course this night or tonight. Is that pretty frequent when we're talking about daytime?
Yes. So if you remember, Yom is day and Hayom could be the day if you're talking about some day out there. But if it has demonstrative force, then it means this day, which in English is today, right? So same thing with night. Halayla, in some contexts, could be the night, but if it's demonstrative referring to the night that we're in, then it's this night or tonight.
Dr. Marshall,
Yeah.
on that one, I had a little bit of a more sketchy translation. Can you tell me if this is right or not? I said, there is no peace for the warriors who are in the night camp.
There is no peace for the warriors who are in the night camp. Okay. Yeah, so what it seems like you're doing is you're taking night as perhaps functioning as part of a construct chain. All right? So if you took B'machane Halayla as a construct chain, it would be in the camp of the night, which could be a night camp. Okay? What would be the problem with that here? If you assume that's thing 1 and that's thing 2, what is attached to thing 1, Machane? There's an article hiding in here, right? That article hey has been swallowed up by the preposition bet, but the hey's vowel pointing is here. Can I put an article on thing 1? No, then that can't be thing 1. It can't be a construct form. Okay? So that means I have to take this on its own terms, because the warriors who are in the camp, and then this is just functioning adverbially, okay, tonight. So does that make sense? Okay, great. Now, if I had, just to go back to what you were thinking about, okay, if I had this instead, b, and I had no dagesh forte there, b machane, there's one more thing that would have to change here. In the construct, segol hey nouns become sere hey when they're in the construct state. So that's what it would have had to look like. B machane halayla. And then I could treat this as a unit. And then that would be the camp of the night, or the night camp. All right. Any final questions before we wrap up this?